where local structures in the area are still trying to make sense of what may have led to the brutal mass murders in their village. Our reporter Ziniko Mhlaba joins us now from Unu to capture the atmosphere or the mood there. Ziniko, good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you, Dudu. Yes, we're here in Unu, in Mthatha, where the brutal killing of 7 people took place. We've managed to walk towards the homestead. We're actually inside the yard of the family, where this family lost about 7 people on Wednesday night. So what's happening right now, just locals, neighbors, some structures are walking in to pay their respect to the family members as well. And I can tell you right now, elders of the family have been here since the morning. As you can see, mama there that is just walking in and out. But that's a custom in any traditional locality where there's been bereavement. A lot of people, especially neighbors, do come in to support, to make sure that whoever comes in is able to get some coffee, to get whatever, but also comfort the family that is grieving. So that's exactly what's happening here in this family right now. But we're also going to get an opportunity to talk to a very, very important structure, the South African National Civic Organization, Ziniko, which is the voice of residents in areas, whether we are in the township in Johannesburg or in rural areas such as Unu. So they're here to give us a sense of how are they feeling. There have been issues as well. Off camera, dude, we've been told that there might be some drug problems in these communities, but I think we'll get an opportunity now to get a sense of what have they been able to pick up. I'm going to bring in Mhlaba here, Onobhala, we're putting us on the we know that this is a very difficult moment for the residents of Mthatha, especially for the residents of Olu. If we so far, what have you been able to gather? But also, what are your words of encouragement, especially to this family that lost about 7 people?
Thank you very much, Mthatha. Firstly, we as Ziniko in the region, I'm the regional secretary here. We are very devastated with what happened in this family. And we are here, secondly, to condemn the acts of brutality that happens here in the region of OR Tambo. Because if you can check, you will find that this is not the first incident. This follows a number of incidents that happened in this area of OR Tambo, in particular in KSD. So we are calling upon our government to come and intervene in trying to deal with these acts, which makes our residents feel unsafely.
Secretary, you speak about the issue of condemning the acts, the issue of guns within communities. How do you feel about that? But what's being done? Because it's residents themselves who carry these guns around, and we've been speaking to some residents saying we can't even walk at night because these young boys would do whatever they want to do with elders, with elderly citizens of these villages. So that issue of gun control within communities, what have you been able to do to create awareness about the dangers of having those weapons within communities?
Our government is doing all the best in trying to curb that thing of people having illegal guns and firearms. But what we are seeing is that the challenge is huge. So it makes it difficult to deal with it totally. But what we believe in is the fact that once our government comes and intensify its intervention, we believe this will come to an end. You will find that, you will remember, in fact, we once, another killing of this magnitude in the area called Biki. And what we identified there, what we did, we just called our government, and the government responded by deploying the structures of the police to deal with that thing. So I think the only thing that can assist us, even including in this one, is when government may try to deploy such structures to areas which we call are the areas which are hotspots, like this one. So we believe once we do that, at least we will try to cope with this one. Secondly, we need to intensify, because at Ziniko we are calling that our people, the communities, must try to intensify and revive the CPF structures, the community police forum structures, which we believe they will be able to identify what you were raising as the one other thing that perpetrates acts of this nature, which are drugs and other things. So are the ones who will be able to identify.
Isho bayirizayo bathi i-response from amapoliseni nokubana abanazi-resources ezaneleyo zokubana bakwazi ukuqinisekisa into yokubana ba-create awareness within communities. So ingxaki ezinjalo nina njengombutho wabantu as a civic organization, how are you then working with those structures such as CPF to ensure that their needs in terms of resources and being able to access the SAPS or policing services as soon as possible whenever there's a need? How are you doing then to make sure that they are resourced enough? And have you been engaging with them as well?
Yes, we do. We do engage with our CPFs. And one important thing that we are raising, which we encourage, is the constant training of those who are elected by the communities to lead the CPF, and we try to give them all the resources that are necessary, which they can use in trying to deal with these issues. Inyani ke masithethe msasazi wami into ethi ebunyanisweni the response of governance sometimes becomes low because of the number of the human resource they have. If you can remember, we once called that our communities are not safe. Our government tried to intervene. About 12,000 police which were deployed across the country. But if you can check that one, it's not enough when we still continue to see acts of this nature. So, yes.
Did it just give us a sense of how's the family doing right now? You've been here, you've interacted with them. What have you been able to gather from your engagements with them? How are they doing? Have there been any development in terms of getting an idea on what exactly happened?
So far, the family is trying at least to accept the situation, and I was happy when I was meeting with them, especially a 70-year-old mom of one of the sons that were shot here. That at least they are trying to calm down. But as the family, they are raising challenges that they feel at least our government should intervene on the matter and try to assist them even on the programs that at least they may assist them towards laying down the guys or the people who were shot here. So at least I can safely say at least now they are trying, and they were very happy, especially when they see that at least Ziniko comes, because they are saying they depend most of the time when they see these things, even on televisions, listened on radios, they knew that Ziniko is the one that comes. At least now, when Ziniko arrives, they said at least they felt much better.
You will be with us for some time, I understand. Secretary, Regional Secretary of the South African National Civic Organization, just giving us a sense there in his last answers, giving us a sense of how the family is doing, alluding to the fact that the family does seem to be in need of great support as they prepare for the funeral service of this family. But as soon as we get to speak to them, we'll have specific insights on what exactly do they need. Well, at some point, Duduzile, we're going to give the viewers some sense of how the room in which this brutal killing is looking like, and we'll try to do that as soon as we're able to. So that's the situation here in Ulu in Mthatha, where 7 people lost their lives. We understand that most of them were coming from this very same family we are in Duduzile. So that's it from us. We're hoping to speak to some traditional leaders as well throughout this afternoon.
Looking forward to it. Ziniko Mhlaba, thank you for that update.